Hello again. My name is Murray Smith. I'm bringing to you today a report that in Belgium an arrest was made of a former Israeli foreign minister for war crimes. Well, isn't that interesting? Apparently Bush and his cronies and quite possibly the Clintons all going to be prosecuted. This needs to happen. War crimes. These people need to pay for their crimes. Anyway, on to the story here. A Belgian court has ordered the arrest of former Prime Minister arrest of former Minister of Foreign Affairs of Israeli, Tzipi Livni, when she steps off the plane on her arrival in Belgium capital Brussels on the 23rd of January, official EU sources revealed on Thursday. On the 23rd of June 2010, a group of victims filed a complaint in Belgium to the federal prosecutor against certain Israeli civilian and military officers and officials at the time, including Tzipi Livni, for war crimes and crimes against humanity committed in the Gaza Strip, according to the Palestinian News Network. The Federal Prosecutor Office confirmed that Livni would be intercepted by the Federal Judicial Police during her stay in Belgium to be heard and questioned following the complaint lodged against her, and that it would ensure the necessary follow-up to the case. Livni was the Israeli Foreign Minister of Foreign Affairs at the time of the Israeli military operation, cast lead in the Gaza Strip, which took place on the 27th of December 2008 to the 18th of January 2009. She is scheduled to arrive in Brussels on the 23rd of January to participate in the conference of European Parliament. Well, folks, we look forward to this arrest. Yes, we really do look forward to this arrest. It would appear that that would be a Monday. This article was originally sourced from the Mideast Monitor, and I am bringing it to you from globalresearch.ca/globalresearch.org. Thank you. Have a good day. Good day again, folks. Joint Russian-Turkish bombing campaign in Syria deepens the NATO crisis. Well, if you'd like my opinion on it, and maybe you don't, but you're going to get it. NATO, North Atlantic Terrorist Organization. This gang of criminals needs to be disbanded, and NATO needs to be finished. Enough of robbing and killing and murdering of the global population. The people have had enough. We have spoken. The Brits have spoken. The Americans have spoken. The Europeans are going to speak. Canada will speak to this little fraud we have going on in this country also. And now, on to the Turkish bombings. Launching of coordinated airstrikes by the Russian and Turkish warplanes against the Islamic State targets in northern Syria Wednesday has further exposed the crisis gripping Washington's intervention in the war-ravaged Middle Eastern country, as well as the deepening contradictions plaguing the NATO alliance on the eve of Donald Trump's inauguration as the U.S. president. The bombing campaign struck targets around Syria and town of Al-Bab, the scene of a bloody fighting between the Turkish troops and ISIS militants over the past several weeks. From a political standpoint, the joint action of Russia and Turkey, a member of the NATO alliance for the past 65 years, is unprecedented. It stands in stark contradiction to the anti-Moscow campaign being waged by Washington and its principal NATO allies, which has seen the cutting off of military-to-military ties, the imposition of sanctions, and the increasingly provocative deployment of thousands of U.S. and other NATO troops on Russia's western borders. Just last week, the U.S. sent 3,000 soldiers into Poland, backed by tanks and artillery, while hundreds more U.S. Marines have been dispatched to Norway. Wonder what that's all about. Is it Obama trying to create more shit before he leaves office? Because the fact is that the checker player, he lost to the Grandmaster, Putin, the chess player. Anyway, on with the story. Turkey's collaboration with Russia represents a further challenge to the U.S.-led alliance under conditions in which Trump has severely rattled its European members with recent statements in describing NATO as obsolete and charging its members with not taking care of terror and not paying for what they're supposed to pay. The joint air attack was carried out under the terms of the memorandum reached between the Russian and Turkish militaries the previous week, according to the Russian defense minister. The document signed on January 12th was designed to prevent incidents between Turkish and Russian warplanes, as well as to prepare joint operations in Syria to destroy international terrorist groups. Lieutenant Sergei Radasko in the statement. Man, massacred that guy's name, sorry. Russian-Turkish relations reached their nadir in November 2015 when the Turkish fighter jets ambushed and shot down a Russian warplane carrying out airstrikes against the Islamic fighters near the border between Turkey and Syria. The incident brought Turkey, and with it NATO, to the brink of a war with nuclear-armed Russia. At that point, Turkey was serving as a main conduit for foreign fighters, while weapons and other resources being poured into Syria to wage the U.S.-orchestrated war on a regime change, while Russia was intervening to prop up the principal Middle East ally, the government of Syria and Bashar al-Assad. Well, folks, all I got to say about this is that this is another long time coming. This war in the Middle East, it's all been NATO and Israeli Mossad forced and pushed. These terrorists are done. Trump, him and Putin are going to do a good job. Have a good day. Hello again, January 20th, 2017. Have some breaking news out of Europe here. German opposition leader calls for collective security union with Russia and dissolution of NATO. Nice. German opposition leader Sarah Wagenknecht on Tuesday added her voice to calls to dissolve the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or the North Atlantic Terrorist Organization as I like to call it, in the wake of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's controversial remarks concerning the military alliance. NATO must be dissolved and replaced by a collective security system, including Russia. Wagenknecht, who leads the opposition Left Party in Parliament, added that comments made by the future U.S. President mercilessly revealed the mistakes and failures of the German federal government. Very unfair. Huh? In an interview published by German tabloid Bild, Trump described NATO as an obsolete organization. I said a long time ago that NATO had the problems. Number one, it was obsolete because it was designed many, many years ago. We're supposed to protect countries, but a lot of these countries aren't paying what they're supposed to be paying, which I think is very unfair to the United States, Trump added. Germany's Left Party have previously called for warmer ties with Russia and scrapping the security alliance, measures which appear to be policy concerns for the incoming U.S. administration. The Left Party is Germany's largest opposition group in Parliament and holds seats in several state legislatures. Well, this is another article from globalresearch.ca, and it was originally sourced at dw.com. Anyway, as I said, NATO is obsolete. It needs to be disbanded. It is the world's problems. Thank you. Have a good day.